Hello. Alright, so I needed to do a short video, hopefully it'll be a short video, probably about 10 minutes or so, about our gates. If you have bought our Micro Scout or our 5-inch racing Cobra drone, then you will have gotten a number of gates with your order. And so I wanted to go over that. So when you get them, it will look like this. It will be in this white bag. This white bag is a one-time use. Once we unpack everything, which I'm going to do on the floor here, this white bag here is either trash or you can use it for something else, but it is purely being used for all the items that you will be receiving. So once you are done with it, you can either toss it or use it for something else, but this is no longer needed. So I'm going to throw it off to the side. I'm going to put this on the floor. Okay, so what you have here is the poles. These are going to be the guy wires as well as the rope or cable or whatever you want to call it that's going to be connecting it, keeping it together. This is the banner material of the gate, and then this is the new bag that you'll be keeping the gate in after you've assembled it. We wanted you to be able to store your gates easily and get them out and set them up easily. So this is how you will store your gate once you've assembled it. Hopefully you have a storage closet or something like that you can just hang these on a hook and then pull them out whenever you want. So you will use this. We'll keep this off to the side. Alright, so we'll get our poles put together. Okay, so you will notice one is longer than the other. So when you do the gate, there's going to be a longer side and a shorter side. Also, while I have these apart, I'm going to point something out. So my buddy that invented these gates, they were called quad-diction gates. He used to use a 2-inch piece of duct tape, and he would wrap it right here so that these would not come apart. Because what happens is when you're flying, you have your gate, let's say somebody hits it, what would happen is this would come apart. Now, we do not include the tape. You can use tape if that's something you want to do. It will prevent these from coming apart. The downside to using tape, there's a pro and a con. Pro is that it keeps it from coming apart. The con is that it will not allow it to come apart. And so if there's a hard enough impact, this will break. So it's one of those things you have to decide. Do you want to tape it and risk maybe eventually breaking the pole, or not tape it and then occasionally have to run out and maybe reseat this back into this little connector? That's something that you guys will have to decide on your own. I do not tape it because I do not tape the ones I use because I don't want to break the poles. But just wanted to throw that out there as an option. Okay, so I'm laying it out with the emblem or the logo up. And as you can see, this bottom one is shorter than the top one. So that makes it obvious that the shorter pole will go in the shorter side and the longer pole will go in the longer side. These are very similar to tent poles. And so you'll notice that it's easier to push them than to pull, because when you pull on them, they separate. So it's easier to start at one side and push the pole through. There are, come over here. There are some small black threaded attachments are on the pole. You'll need to make sure that those are exposed. Okay. So these are guy wires. The pros and cons. One of the cons, pro, is these are easy to set up, quick and dirty, get them up, get them down, put away. Con, they are a little bit susceptible to wind. And so the guy wires have been included to be attached after assembly in the event that you have a lot of wind and need more support. So these you can just put over in your bag that you have laying to the side. This is what you want next. It's a little L90 shape with a ribbon or tie down strap, whatever you want to call this thing. Alright, back up, Linz. Alright, so we're going to just throw it over here like this. And we're going to start underneath. Slide it in like that, thread in the small plastic attachment. And you're going to do the same thing with this one. Into the 90, thread in the plastic attachment. Like that. Now for the fun part. I don't want this twisted because then it makes the gate twisted and it just isn't very pretty. So I try to make sure like that. Thread it into the 90. This guy. It does require a little bit of force, a little bit of persuasion, but as you can see, now we have an assembled gate. You'll notice this, so if you're flying, this is the small side. You don't want this in the way. There's a little pocket right here. You just stick it in the pocket, get it out of the way. You see that there's another one here, so you would stake it down on either side, and then you notice that there's another one here that you could stake it down. Now again, this is the small side. If you wanted to use the big side, you just flip it up like that, and now you have the big side. You take your spike, you put it out of the way, you take it out of the pocket there, and you stake it down on either side of that. I mentioned the guy wires earlier. So if you needed guy wires, it's a windy day, you're going to tie on to these loops here and then stake them out that way to give you left and right support. Lastly, now that you have it assembled, you've raced and you need to put it away. Lindsay, come a little closer. You're going to notice there are some little snaps on it. So think of this as your windshield shade. You know how it folds funny and then you're able to stash it away? This is similar. So back up, Lynn. So you grab your gate and you just twist it like this and fold it. And then you have your snaps. Now I did it backwards. My snaps are not lined up. So I'm going to turn it this way. And now my snaps are lined up. And so I can come over here, snap, snap, lay it down like that. Don't forget your little guy wires. You want to keep those. Toss them in the bag, close it up, and you're now ready to hang it up in your storage closet until ready to go race. Please comment, questions, email us if you have any concerns, and happy racing.